Sidney Stewart, the catcher, will lead it off for Washington in the top of the 5th inning. And in that situation, again, that's why you ask for help from Calvin Walker down at third base. But home plate umpire Tyler Barfus did not. Stewart off the end of the bat, floats it to Frankie Hammoudi, who essentially takes it away from Matty Clark. Clark went into a full-on dive and watched the ball fall into the leather of Frankie Hammoudi for out number 1. Kinsey Fiedler walked and was caught stealing her last time up. Washington with 3 base hits.
Number 20, Kinsey Fiedler.
Fiedler, the only one to reach via a free pass, after striking out 3 times yesterday. Garcia's pitched well. That one roped off the glove of Frankie Hammoudi, knocks it down, recovers, and puts Fiedler away for out number 2. That is the first ground ball out recorded by Ellie Garcia. A hot shot. Fiedler put a good swing on it, hit it right at Frankie. Riley Holtorf doubled, stole a bag, and came around to score to lead off the 3rd inning. Holtorf an extra base hit in each of the first 2 games of this series. The 1-0 misses outside. Kyle Novak in his 2nd season as hitting coach with Washington. Hired in the summer of 2021. Help out Heather Tarr. As I mentioned earlier, a captain on the 2018 Oregon State National Championship team. On the baseball side, 3-0, the count on Riley Holtorf. Nearly didn't even have an opportunity to tell the story of Kyle Novak, and Kyle's probably not coaching at first base right now. If he quit the team like he wanted to when he first got to Oregon State in the fall of 2014. 4-pitch walk to Riley Holtorf. Brooklyn Carter will bat with a runner on and 2 outs. As the story goes, a great story from Oregon Live and the Oregonian about how Pat Casey would really push the buttons of Kyle Novak, wanting really, the quote goes that Kyle Novak went from wanting to fight Pat Casey to wanting to fight for him. But early on, Pat Casey was really pushing Kyle Novak as a freshman. He thought it was personal. Pat, in a lot of the fall practices, would put Novak down. He would poke him. He would really challenge him during every practice. And Kyle Novak compared it to being in a military camp. Strike 1 to Brooklyn Carter. This is all on the record in the Oregonian, but it did. Kyle Novak said, and quote, "I was about to punch that guy in the face." You know, legendary 3-time national champion coach Pat Casey. The 0-1 popped up, foul territory, third base side, and out of play. There's one point where Kyle Novak couldn't get a bunt down in practice, and Pat Casey told him to, quote, "stick his head in a jar and examine it." And Novak got the nickname Jarhead from the rest of his teammates. But Pat knew what he was doing. When the other coaches on the staff, including Nate Yeske, pitch misses upstairs, asked Pat, "Hey, maybe are you going a little hard on this guy?" Pat said, "I was going to take Kyle right to the edge of the cliff. He thinks he's going to go over it, but I've got him. Don't worry, I've got him." And after Christmas of that year, Novak came back and almost wanted Casey to come after him. Really got that mindset shift. And it turned out okay for Kyle Novak, a successful Oregon State career, and now a coach with Heather Tarr on Montlake. Brooklyn Carter rolls out to end the inning. Good job by Ellie Garcia keeping Washington to a run through 5 innings. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th, 1-0 Washington on the OSU live stream.
Guessing how many gummy bears are in a jar.